right now, I turn to my right, and so many guests, Brockman, as you know, complain that I'm sitting higher than them on this show, but this guest has no such complaint. He is the 4-time Pro Bowl offensive lineman, formerly of the Texans, now of the Seattle Seahawks. Duane Brown, good to see you, sir.
Great to see you.
You got it. So what is this time of year like for you? What are you doing right now?
Working out, relaxing. My wife is almost 8 months pregnant, so that's taking up a lot of my time.
What number child is this for you?
It's number 3 for me. This is our first one.
You had to think about that for a second. Okay, so this is your third kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
First one.
But first one with your wife. Got it. Yeah. So now you're doing that right now. You're working out and you're getting ready for a Seattle season that a lot of people, Duane, are wondering it's going to look like right now. Are you one of those people?
Not wondering. I'm pretty confident in what we can do. It's definitely going to be different though, for sure. With two of the mainstays that were there that helped build that culture. Those guys headed out. It's going to be different.
Okay. So what is the culture going to be, best you can tell?
Still going to be a tough team. Be a tough locker room. Still a lot of personalities on that team. I think the defense will definitely have a new look, but still be competitive. Still yet to see. There's still a lot of moves to be made. Still got a draft coming up, so it's a lot that'll change. I think over the next month or two, but I think we're still going to compete in the NFC West.
Now I know that you can't get in there right now. They can't get you in there right now. You're not going to be able to really have much of conversation with your new offensive coordinator or your new line coach, pretty much too. What is this? Can you tell Seattle fans or us what this offense is going to look like compared to what we have seen in Seattle?
I don't know what the plan is for the offense. We have a new coordinator, have a new offensive line coach. I've spoken with him very briefly.
Okay.
But I think, we still have number 3 under center. So, you can expect to see a lot from Russell Wilson. I think the offensive line will definitely play a huge part in our success. I'm looking forward to working with the guys a full season, being able to go through a complete offseason with those guys and better myself as well as help those guys as well along the way, and we're going to be good. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, you're going to be good. Well, again, there's just a lot of people doubt that, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Because, again, I know you're just new to the program there, traded in the middle of the season last year, acquired in the middle of the season last year, but just it's difficult for Seattle fans to wrap their hands around the idea that the faces that have been the outside of Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, that some of them are just one by one being sent packing, and the identity of the team's going to change.
Yeah. That's understandable. I think you have guys like Richard Sherman, who's been a perennial Pro Bowler, been one of the best cornerbacks in the league throughout his career. A guy like Michael Bennett, who's been, gotten after the quarterback as well as anybody. You get 2 guys like that who head out, it definitely raises some questions, and that's very understandable. I can just tell you from my short time there's a lot of talent on that team. There's a lot of depth on that team. I think, and I trust the staff there. I trust the coaches there, and the young players that come in, that they'll put them in position to be successful. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to be the best player I can be. The unit that I'm in control of is the offensive line, and I'm going to do my best to make sure we're the most competitive unit on that team. So I can definitely understand the doubts that go along with everything that has transpired. But from a veteran and someone that's played a lot of football in this league, I think I'm very, very optimistic about our season.
Duane Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show, 4-time Pro Bowler, 10 years in the National Football League, coming out of Virginia Tech, now of Seattle, formerly of the Texans, here on the Rich Eisen Show. When you said still a lot of personalities in that locker room, and you named 2 guys, and Richard Sherman and Michael Bennett being sent away, there has been part of the conversation over the weekend that Seattle shipped out both these guys by trade and by cutting because of what they were doing in the locker room, how they were outspoken, also about issues, societal issues. What do you say to that, Duane Brown?
I don't think there's any truth to that. I think if you look at the way the organization has backed their players through everything that they've spoken out about, through things that they went through, i.e. Michael Bennett in Las Vegas, you look at everything that's happened, they definitely backed him 110%. I think in the time that I spent there, I spent a couple months there, there was never a time where I felt like The support for players that spoke out wasn't there. Pete Carroll and everyone involved, they love the players. They love what guys stand for. They don't want just robotic guys that just come in and work. They want guys that stand for something bigger than themselves. And I don't think that was the matter at all as to why they moved on. I think it was more so financial things like that. But no, I don't believe that at all.
Well, when I heard that theory being floated by some in my business, I thought of two people. I thought of Doug Baldwin, who's still on the team, and I thought of you.
I don't think I would be there if that was the case.
Right. I thought, well, the question is are you there because that was the case in Houston? Do you think you were sent away to Seattle because you were outspoken on these issues?
I think it was a couple of things, but I think the things I spoke out against were not just societal issues, but kind of what was going on in-house. And, you know, a lot of people didn't want to hear it, you know, even if it was the truth in your face. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear that. So, but, you know, it could have been the reason. I don't know if they chose that destination specifically because of the culture there. But if so, then I'm all for it.
So for those who might not be familiar, what were you talking about in Houston, I think?
The comments that were made by the owner. You know, I talked about that because it came up right when I ended the holdout.
What he was being quoted as saying in the ESPN article?
Being quoted saying can't let the inmates run the prison. In regards to the players kneeling for the anthem and protesting police injustice and police brutality.
Well, I think, you know, what Bob McNair said he was referring to was not the players. He was referring to other owners in the league when talking about that.
Yeah, right. No, that wasn't the case. He was talking about the players. I mean, we actually had a meeting, the team meeting about it, and you know, he kind of went in depth a little bit more than he should have and exposed what he really meant. So I wasn't okay with it.
And so you think that part of that was why you were sent to Seattle when it was all said and done?
Yeah, I think part of it.
And you don't think being in Seattle, having that sort of vocal role as a player is something that's viewed as a negative, is what you're saying?
No, I don't think it's viewed as a negative. Because I think everyone on that staff is aware of what's going on. They're not blind to it. There are a lot of people that live in the bubble of just coming to work, forgetting everything that's going on in society and working and forgetting about it. But I don't think people there live in that bubble. I think that they're very aware of what's going on. So when a player or a group of players speak up against it, they're for it because they understand that it's reality.
Duane Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. We had Kenny Stills here last week, and he's been very active in his community in South Florida, and he went on a tour of the Deep South to shine more of a light on this issue, as well as seeing what's going on in certain communities to fix the issue, best we can actually use that phrase. Mm-hmm. Where do you stand on people who think that you should stand during the national anthem as opposed to using it as a moment to bring out other issues?
Everyone has their opinion. And I mean, for the people that say, I watch this game for entertainment, you know, I watch this game, you're not supposed to bring that stuff, your political views to work, things like that. This is a reality for a lot of us. And we're not able to escape reality at all times. You know, even though some people may want to when they watch football and escape from reality, we're not able to do that. For a lot of us, when we take off our helmet and shoulder pads and leave our facility, a lot of us are viewed as people that aren't in our position and viewed as just another black man in America. And so when you have things that are going on in this country that touch some of our friends, touch some of our families, you know, family members, things like that, I feel like we have to use our platform for this. It's no different than what's going on in the NBA with, you know, shut up and dribble, what they told LeBron. It's, you know, everyone wants us to be in this box, but we don't want to be there. So I'm going to continue to do my job at the highest level that I am, but I also am going to speak out against things that I feel are wrong.
Duane Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. And in terms of doing the job that you do at a high level, what do you think about, what does your other colleagues think about when everybody talks about how Russell Wilson's running for his life behind the offensive line? How did you guys take that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. It hurts. We will continue to compete. It's something we have to continue to get better at. We have to continue to block better. We have to continue to create that pocket. And it's, there were moments where we did block it pretty well, but sometimes he wants to improvise and get out of the pocket. And then, as an offensive lineman at that point, it's not much you can do, So, it's just something that we're all continuing to get in sync with. And you can expect a better product in 2018, 2019.
That's right. Duane Brown again. This has been an interesting chat, to say the least. So you're down here. You go up to Seattle for OTAs and things of that nature, and then you get ready to play football against Richard Sherman. I know you'll be on the field, obviously, with him standing outside wide there. I mean, I know this is first blush right now, but what do you think those two visits at his house and him back in Seattle is going to be like?
It's going to be intense. The time I spent with Richard, I can tell you he's a warrior, first-class warrior, a great dude, and somebody I'm definitely going to miss in that locker room. I think part of the reason that he went there was to be able to compete against his old team 2 times a year, and I respect it. I mean, all I can say is I probably won't have many encounters with him, but if I do pull around the corner, it's gonna be. You gotta get your mind right. But other than that, he knows it's all love with me. It's all love with me, man. I love Rich.
So when you're pulling around the corner and you see a cornerback out there,
oh man, that's fun.
That's good eats.
Fun.
That's
good eats for sure.
Certainly, if it's got a number 25 on it against San Francisco.
I'm not zoning in on Richard Sherman, man. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not going out there trying to kill him. But if I do, we dial that up, then it's always a good time.
Hey, Duane, thanks for coming in here. You are welcome anytime. Certainly, you're local. Oh, by the way, you didn't play with Tyrod at Virginia Tech?
I sure did. My senior year was Tyrod's first year.
So before I let you go, it looks like he's got. We don't know what the Browns are going to do in the draft at quarterback, but it sure looks like he has got a heck of an opportunity here. What do you think he can? How good do you think he can be in this league, Duane?
I've always been a huge fan of Tyrod's. When he first went to Buffalo. From Baltimore, I told everyone he's going to light it up, and sure enough, he's had a heck of a career so far. I'm happy that he's going somewhere that really appreciates him. I'm happy that they've loaded him up with some weapons for him to utilize, and I think he's going to do great. I mean, Tyrod's a heck of a talent, man. So salute to him. I think he's going to do well. Yeah,
I mean, Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry. You want to talk about head on a swivel.
Yeah, and they also, they've built up a pretty good line over there, so I think it's a good opportunity for him.
Yeah, Joe Thomas is thinking about hanging him up right now.
I mean, he's one of the best of all time.
I know, and he's sitting there. He says that what they're doing right now is not going to have any effect on him, but you have to think maybe it will. You never know.
I know, it's tough. It's a tough decision to make.
But just, one last one for you here. Ramping it up, year 10, National Football League. What does it take for you?
This is year 11 for me coming up now.
Okay.
Just continuing to work on my craft.
But in terms of the weight room and what you're doing right now, it's an everyday thing. Right?
Everyday thing. Yeah. The older you get, the off season gets shorter and shorter. You have to do more. You don't get to take as much time off. Guys are getting younger. They're getting faster, stronger. So you always got to be able to compete.
At Duane Brown 76 on Twitter. We'll chat again soon. Thanks for coming in here. You got it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.